Jazz, do you know what the balloon lion is called?
Yes, Simba.
Simbaloo.
Oh!
I think that one there is a Wellington boot, that green one, that ain't, see? Black Panther's now up, the koala is almost about to be up.
Oh, wait, what about that one?
I don't know the black one yet. Then the next one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon and welcome to Sky Safari. Didn't mean to leave you, I wasn't ignoring you, just trying to get a handle on what our plans are for tonight, and there's been quite a bit of discussion with regard to that, but I can tell you what we're going to do is basically fly a hare and hound task for the pilots with the Hunter balloon, the Hunter boot, as the hare balloon. Now, what a hare and hound is all about is simply one balloon is designated the hare, and as I've just said, that will be the big green Hunter boot, which is cold inflating now. He will be the first balloon to fly away, and then all of the other balloons are hounds, and the object is for them simply to chase the hare through the sky. It's basically a follow the leader kind of flight. And as I said earlier, as we watch the little pieball balloon go out, the pilot balloon, that black helium balloon we released, the balloons will be generally flying off Lodge Road and across the lake and then up and over the hill. Those folks that are camped out on the hillside over there are going to have a great view this evening, just out beyond the car park.
Look, Winnie, look at the koala!
Yeah.
So already we have, you can see the balloons all up and down Lodge Road beginning to inflate. Some of them have been standing for a while. Another Royal Navy balloon has been standing up for a while. The Panther is up now. The Rico balloon is here. I see Ben's Reclamation and Demolition Limited balloon is standing up, or rather cold inflating, my apologies. The Hunter boot is inflating. Adelaide, our koala balloon, is inflated, standing up as in just a moment. So also will be Simbaloo, the lion, all of the some of the signature Longleat balloons. So it's essentially going to be a mass launch for you tonight, with the exception of, as I say, for the pilots, there will be a task assigned for them to try and follow the Hunter boot to its landing site, which will be a target for the pilots to shoot for this evening. And Richard Penny and team bringing Simbaloo the lion upright. We already have, as I said, Adelaide the koala is standing up there on A2, or rather A1. No, A2. Actually B1. Oh well, whatever. The launch site across from me. This is A1, that's B1. So Simbaloo is in A1, Adelaide is in B1. And our Panther balloon is going out a little earlier. They told me they would be probably doing that. Going to make, I think, a short hop over the trees and up the hill. So, but they are not the hare balloon for the other pilots. They're just going early, and I was advised that they might be doing that, so that's not a surprise. Looks like they're doing a little filming as they fly right over the crowd here, so give them a wave as they go by.
Backpacks are now lifting off at Longleat.
We might even see the panther get his paws wet. I'm not sure if they may try to do a little splash and dash there in the lake.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here comes the hunter boot coming up right now. Giant green hunter boot.
Look at the size of it.
Pilots, I need Celia Morley, Steve Kai, and Pete Johnson at my stage, please. Well, the panther's not going to dip his paws in the lake. That's pretty clear now because he's already across the lake and headed over across the car park there. The people over on the side of the hill should be getting some great photographs, though, as the panther looking right down on them, literally just crossing right over the top of them. Look at that. Great photo op. Still waving to the crowd, the passengers are, so you're on the hillside there, give them a wave. And meanwhile, in a few minutes, we should start to see the launch of our hare and hounds with the launch of the hunter boot here in just a few moments. There is the Ben's Tiles Reclamation Limited balloon standing up, black and shades of red, black, white with shades of red and burgundy. And that is Mike Evans, who is the pilot of Ben's Tiles. Piers Glyden is up in the Rico balloon, a number of sport balloon pilots joining us this evening. The Hunter boot still cold inflating. And it's supposed to be our hare balloon, so these other balloons, the hounds, are not technically supposed to be launching yet, except for the panther. We knew that he would go early. I was told that he would probably be going early, but to my knowledge, the other balloons are supposed to be waiting for the hound. So I'm just not quite sure about this balloon that's just launched. They may know something that I don't. That appears to be Jim McDonald in the balloon that is yellow with the spiral pattern of yellow, golden, orange, looks like red, and then blue, violet, green, dark green, light green, going back to yellow. Just crossing over the south end of the lake there, Jim McDonald here from Kent. Maybe getting out ahead of the hare balloons, so we'll wait and see. Now the Hunter boot is coming up right. The Hunter boot, again, our hare balloon. And that will be the balloon that all of the others are supposed to be chasing, the giant green Hunter original boot, which was not long ago on a tour around the United States. I had the chance to work a bit with the team, finding some locations for them to fly out in the desert southwest of the United States, up in the New Mexico and Arizona area. I know in the States, I'm sure they probably have it over here. We have the old saying that you can just give them the boot. I don't think you'd want to be given the boot from that big hunter boot. That would hurt. So I see the signature exclusive ballooning balloon standing up, burgundy and white. You can see the registration on the side, GOOEY, G-O-O-E-Y. Exclusive Ballooning is the company that organizes all of our ballooning activities here during Sky Safari. They also are the organizers of the Lord Mayor's Balloon Regatta for the Lord Mayor's Appeal Charity up in London each summer, featuring a flight of about 50 balloons going flying over central London. Exclusive Ballooning is the world's premier aerial marketing company. They're responsible for a number of the balloons that we've seen here this weekend, like Rico, like Fortnum and Mason, like Keltbray, etc., and as well as all of the Longleat fleet of balloons. Speaking of our Longleat balloons, we have both Adelaide the Koala and also Cymbaloo the Lion standing up here in A1 and B1 launch sites. They'll be among those, I believe, flying this evening. We'll wait and see. And the Hunter boot still having to get some heat down into the toe. Right now, the Hunter boot looks more like a green soft shoe. In such a giant shape. And the way that special shaped balloons are made, the boot, the foot portion, the toe portion of the boot, I guess I should say, really doesn't provide any lift in the balloon. All the lift is provided by the big, tall leg of the boot. The foot portion really has nothing to do with making the balloon fly. It's just there to create the shape. And so as a result, that's the area that takes the longest to get heat into it, because heat rises, hot air rises, which is what makes hot air balloons fly, of course. And so as you heat the balloon, all that heat wants to go up into the big leg portion of the boot. And so it's not until that area is completely full that then some of the hot air will generally seek other areas to go, other places in the balloon to expand, because hot air also expands. As it rises, it expands and takes up more space. That's what fills out the boot and the balloon. So we're still getting a little hot air into the foot. But in the meantime, Richard Penny is up and away in Cymbaloo, the signature lion balloon of Longleat. Cymbaloo made its debut here at the original Sky Safari, celebrating 53 years we are now, since lions came to Longleat to create what was then, and rather, the first wildlife safari park outside of the continent of Africa. That happened 53 years ago, 1966, when the lions first came to Longleat. You can see, too, the wind has shifted a bit from what we saw when we let that little pieball go out. That pieball went almost directly to the east, right straight out over the center of the hillside. Now, both, especially Cymbaloo, staying low, is traveling really well out to the south and east, as did the spiral balloon that went out just a bit earlier. So now I suspect that if Richard were to climb and gain a little altitude in Cymbaloo, he might still turn left and go back to the east, more over the center of the hill, but staying down low. He's got a good right-hand turn there, moving off to the southeast.
They know what they're doing.
I
Tonight, of course, is the final flight, final act of Sky Safari for 2019, and what a year it has been. Last night, we enjoyed the largest night glow ever seen in the UK. 84 balloons were on display for our night glow last night. We've had over 200 balloons participating in the event. Overall, we've had our largest grouping of special shapes ever seen here at Longleat with 24 or more. There were a couple that were not in the program. For example, the Orient Express steam train, the steam locomotive balloon was here. That was one special shape that was not pictured in the program, so I know there were probably a couple of dozen or more special shapes here throughout the weekend, the largest assemblage of that we've ever seen. And just overall, Sky Safari is now the largest annual balloon festival in all of Europe. So quite a successful weekend for us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Hunter balloon, the Hunter Original, is getting airborne. That is one big boot.
Where?
You definitely don't want to let that step on you. And with that now, we will see the launch of the rest of our balloons, all of our hounds to go off in chase of him. The Fairway balloon getting airborne down at the south end of Lodge Road, blue and white, blue top and bottom, white band around the center, of course. Just behind it, there goes the Royal Navy balloon now. They've been standing up for quite a while, a good half hour down there, just waiting on their turn to go.
It's actually 20p.
I was always looking at
Right.
it tastes like bubblegum. I know. Bubblegum.
Fairway is being flown, by the way, by Peter Harding
Royal Navy
out of
flying
Plymouth.
there. And that one.
Come over here. These aren't spicy hot ones. This is bubblegum. Mom, this is bubblegum.
It's alright.
One of two snow business balloons. I think that's the newer one. So, because one of them is being flown by Daniel Gregory, but I don't think it's that one. There are two. They are slightly different. And I believe Rob Bailey is flying the newer of the two snowmen balloons. Just trying to scroll through my spotting chart, see if I can find out and confirm that for you. Royal Navy being flown by Rob Schwab from Mr. Dunn, says here, in the Royal Navy balloon.
They actually taste like bubbles. I can't do it. I can't make a bubble. Can you make one? I do that.
Don't have too much, Jazz.
And getting airborne off the front of Lodge Road now, Ben's Tiles and Reclamation Limited. Their red and white balloon. And once again, that is Mike Evans from Bath, who is the pilot there for Ben's Tiles.
There's some blue way over there.
The Southern Plasticlad balloon, also airborne now, blue and white at the south end of the road, as is one of our cameras.